Hey, okay, so this is a little bit of an interesting idea. It might be a bad idea, but so the Discord doesn't have a lot to do there for those of us who are there. And so I thought it might be interesting to offer some gameplay videos to show off some kind of cool deck ideas. Just to introduce if we got folks, I know we got a lot of folks who are brand new. Um, but also to shill for what is my favorite format, which is pre-modern. Primarily the first, but a little bit for the second. So this deck right here, this is the one that I wanted to start with. So this is Goblins in pre-modern. Goblins was the first deck that it got me excited about like competitive Magic. I've never been to like any actual things, but I remember seeing a video on Goblins, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, and it was very similar to this list. So normally when you think of Goblins or red, you're going to think of super aggressive, fast burn. This is not this deck. This deck is, you could say it's more of a grindy control deck, sort of. Basically, think of the goblins as this horde of creatures. None of them that are that great, but they just keep coming. So yeah, let's look at this deck. So most of these cards are actually very inexpensive in paper. The one I think main exception is going to be Goblin Lackey. So Goblin Lackey is a $10 card. You can probably get him a little bit cheaper depending on which version, and he's also more expensive. So this guy is probably the most powerful card in the deck. It's a 1/1 for 1, but when he hits the opponent, you get to put a goblin from your hand into play. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, well, that's kind of awful. But if your deck is filled with goblins that cost 3, 4, or 5, suddenly a goblin sneaking through on turn 1, turn 2 is very powerful. So we'll see how he plays. Hopefully we'll get to live the dream of a turn 1 Goblin Lackey hit. Another 1-drop is Mog Fanatic. This guy's just kind of removal. You can sack him and deal 1 damage to something. Skirk Prospector, I just have one of them. He adds a little bit of red mana if you need to sacrifice some goblins. The core of the deck, the cards that make the deck work are Goblin Matron, which is a 1/1 for 3, which is awful. But when you play her, you get to look for any goblin. So often something that folks will do is go Goblin Matron into Goblin Ringleader. So Ringleader is, again, 2/2 for 4, which is not great, but he lets you fill your hand with a bunch of goblins. So if your deck is filled with goblins, you play Ringleader, you look at the top 4 cards, maybe 2 or even 3 of them will be goblins. And so if you've ever played a deck where you ran out of cards, this does not happen with goblins because of the power of Matron and Ringleader. So these are 2. You've got War Chief, makes your goblins cheaper, also gives them haste, which is really important. Hopefully we'll see that. Gem Palm Incinerator is, you don't ever pay him as a 2/1 for 3, use his cycling ability. So 2 mana when you cycle, which means you discard the card and you draw the card. And when you do that, he'll deal damage equal to a creature, equal to the number of goblins that you have. So if you have 2 goblins out, it deals 2 damage to it. So very powerful card. Fantastic removal spell. Then we've got our beefy top end Siege Gang Commander. He gives you 4 goblins. And then my favorite is Pile Driver. So Pile Driver is a 1/2, but when he attacks, he gets huge. You can see he gets +2 for other goblins. So if you can play a War Chief and then get some hasty Pile Drivers, that is living the dream. The deck is red and green. Now my mana base, my lands, it's mostly just mana producing lands. An actual Goblins deck would play some other things, but this is a budget list. I'm splashing green for some naturalize just to destroy artifacts and enchantments, just because there are a lot of those in pre-modern. Got some more in the sideboard. In the sideboard, I've got some graveyard hate, some more artifact and enchantment hate. I think that's, yeah. And then bolts for removal. And then this is just a fun one. I just found it was in my account, so I figured I'd put it in there. So yeah, I'm new to Magic the Gathering Online, so some of this gameplay might be bad, but hopefully it can show off some cool cards. And if this seems interesting to you and members of our Discord, maybe you can get some of the pieces. So let's dive into some games. All right, so this should be game 1. I have tried a couple times to record this, and it always records the wrong frame. So hopefully This, unfortunately, is not a keep. I don't do anything until turn 3. I have mulliganed a bunch. This is not a good hand, but it is a keep. So I've got a curve, and I think we'll put the Fanatic on the bottom. Okay. So we're going to be on the draw. So we've got 2 lands. You can go Fanatic, Pile Driver, War Chief, then if it's something grindy, this is going to be a fantastic hand. Duress, Thrak. Okay, well. Pile Driver I think will be good here. Interesting. Green, black. Oath of Druids. That's a thing. All right. Okay, I'm just going to always yield. Okay, I think I just have to play into it. Pile Driver is going to be good here. So Pile Driver is very aggressive, as you can see. When you attack, it gets huge. But it's bad. Always yes. It's bad against blockers. Okay, I think I've seen this before. Yes, right. Okay. Kind of a neat card. So eventually, I have played against this before. So I think what I want to do is go well. Okay, that's going to be good versus me. So Curse Scroll. They get to name a card and start machine gunning down my stuff. So we'll see. He is just an 0-4, so actually I can attack through him. I guess we're going to just go deal 1 damage to him. So, not terrible, actually. I'm going to jam this War Chief. Okay, good. So we are hitting lands. Okay. Attack with all creatures. So Pile Driver is going to get just +2, so it's going to become a 3/2. Next turn, that Pile Driver is going to become giant. So what I might do is go Matron into Pile Driver. Yeah. Okay. If it survives. So I'm going to bring in my naturalizes. Okay, so looks like we won't be matroning into... Oh, but we're going to get a goblin. We're going to get a creature now. I'm going to choose that opponent, and actually I'm going to get a goblin. Yes. So now he has more goblins than I do. That was kind of awesome. All right. It's kind of cool. What do I want? Always yield. I will... All right, so Matron lets me choose anything that I want. I might go after an Incinerator or a Lackey, because if they don't block the Lackey, then they just take a butt ton from the... pile drivers next turn, which is awesome. Okay, that's pretty good. So they're going to get another one. A Gem Palm Incinerator would be fantastic off the top. War Chief would be fantastic. Something with haste. Ringleader would be fantastic. Okay, good. So I have yielded. This version of Goblins, I built a Goblins deck when I was in college that was basically just jam as many fast things as you possibly can. And it was fun. Now, why didn't they... Oh, they must only have 2 of these in the deck. Do I have anything? Let's go to attack. They're all tapped out. Oh, they're missing on lands. Okay, so a pile driver is going to get huge. So it's a 7-2 and another 7-2. So this is why pile driver is very powerful. Okay, so if you were to block with either pile driver, he would die. If you block the lackey, then a pile driver would hit. So let's go to sideboard. So that wasn't the best turn in the world or best round, but this is probably not. Let's do... Sure. What cards are bad? Sharpshooter's probably not great. Incinerators, I think I could use. We'll get rid of Prospector. Maybe we don't need to. Ringleader's going to be good. Fanatic isn't. I don't know if that's necessary. So, Premodern is a format that is basically all the old bordered stuff. So, basically before they started printing super busted cards and that power creep that happens every set, where every set that comes out, you got to buy the new stuff because it's more powerful than stuff came before. Premodern is lower power level. They're still incredibly powerful things, but you have to work for them. So as you can see, I'm playing with a Goblin Matron. It's a 3-mana 1/1. Goblin Ringleader, it's a 4-mana 2/2. Which I think just leads to really interesting games. All right, hey folks. So I've been trying to get a recording. This is match number 2. I've been trying to get a recording to start working, and I couldn't. But now it seems to randomly be working. My opponent now has a it's a black-white control deck. Duress turn 1, Swords Plowshares turn 2. Oh, okay, so interesting. So I played out 2 pile drivers. The first one was Exile, the second one died to a Vindicate. And this, I'm guessing, is going to be an Exalted Angel, so it's a 4/5 with essentially lifelink. So I was afraid of them flipping it, but they must have missed on lands. Actually, I think I can... I'm going to get rid of it right now. I deal 1 to it. Yes. And draw a card. And then I'm going to deal 1 to that. Alright, well, we may have dodged a bullet there. Exalted Angel, yep. 4/5 with essentially lifelink. So they can play it face down as a 2/2, and then it makes it cheaper. So point is, we're starting mid-match, early in the match, but hopefully this will be worth watching. I've been having trouble finding matches. Some of the matches have looked like they were going to be good matches at the beginning, and then somebody left, or they weren't good matches. Okay, I'm gonna just yield. So this is ringleader, and boop, got the nuts. Sweet. That's what I want to see. I'm gonna assume that whatever's out is going to die. So I'm just gonna put the prospector out here. And this is where ringleader's really good. So next turn, if I play war chief, I'll be able to play another ringleader and get him for a lot of damage. Wrath of God. Yeah, okay. So, wipe my board, but this is fantastic. Any order, does not matter. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a war chief. What are the odds that their last spell is the Swords of Plowshares? Okay, so if their last spell is not a Swords of Plowshares, then I'm going to be able to get in for some damage here. And if the lackey hits, I'll be able to put my ringleader in, and we're going to draw some more goblins. And whoops, awesome. All right, and the order. I'm actually just going to hold these simply because next turn, if he taps out for something silly, then I'm going to go matron into pile driver and just end the game. Okay, so now I'm glad that I did that. Okay, so this is where, okay, well, so if I get pile driver right now, yes, always. Yeah, let's just get pile driver. Why not? That means they'll be dead in 2 turns. And this is where Goblins is awesome. He's not huge, but okay, yeah, so we take it. So let's begin sideboarding. Now, I was playing against a black-white control deck like this before, and that one was actually more mid-rangey. So Sharpshooter might actually be good. Mog Fanatic is not. Gem Palm Incinerate is not typically going to be very good. Mog Fanatic is not going to typically be super good. So here, Ringleader is going to be obviously awesome. I'm going to bring these in. Actually, this is the matchup where I'd bring it in, right? So let's just test it and see how this goes. No, I do want an incinerator because. Okay, we'll just go like that. I probably don't need 3 of these. It's just an interesting card that I saw in my collection. Apparently came with the account, so we should be back. And I'm going to keep this just because it's not a great hand, but we'll get to test out this silly Fecundity card. I don't know if it's good or not. Probably not, but it's in my opening hand. So I guess it's actually not great because their main, I did just make duress work. So it's an awful duress. Why would you pick that one? It's like the worst duress in existence. That's okay. Okay, so I did draw a 1-drop. Why is he holding? Okay, so that last turn showed the last game showed the resiliency of goblins. Like they killed all my stuff. What, twice. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're just going to drive this pile driver out here. So I'm going to extend into a Wrath of God again like I did before. Okay, never mind. Swords of Plowshares, one of the best white removal spells, one of the best white spells, one of the best removal spells. Okay, this card is good against me. I'm going to get rid of War Chief and City of Brass. And we'll just go like that. And I'll just hope that I keep drawing lands. Okay. So I'm going to attack, see what he's got. And I'm going to throw out this pile driver. Now, I still need a land. So if he plays another Gerard's Verdict, Gerard's Verdict is very good against goblins. Yep. But I'm empty-handed, so. Okay, well there's the land. Okay, so let's start beating in with these guys. So this is where Pile Driver is good. It's an open board. It'd be nice to have a few more goblins, but Pile Driver being a 3/2 is fine. He's gonna give all my stuff -1/-1 permanently. So a lot of my goblins aren't great unless I draw Naturalize. So Lackey does nothing. And we're just going to attack with Pile Driver for 0 for the fun of it. Plague is very good against goblins, obviously. The double Gerard's Verdict was fantastic. Okay, so we'll just go boop. This is why we brought in the Naturalizes. I will take out the Fecundities. Thankfully, I have 4 lands, so with the exception of Siege Gang Commander, which costs 5, I can cast all of my goblins. Wrath of God. Okay, so all my stuff's dead. Any order. Ringleader, come on. Mountain. That's not great, but whatever. That means now I can play all my cards. So Fecundity wouldn't be terrible here. This little guy. More lands is not awful. Currently, I can go... Well, we'll see. Decree of Justice. So he's going to make a bunch of tokens. Yep. So this card, he cycled it, which means much like my Gem Palm Incinerator, he discarded the card, and then he drew a card, and then he makes X 2 1/1 white little duders. What? Fair enough. Oh, he killed my thing. Non-basic. Joke's on you! Unfortunately, I think he's going to win this match. What I need to do is have him not draw Wrath of God. Okay, so Matron. We're gonna get Ringleader. Because Ringleader, yes, always yes. I think, yeah, because I just need to refill my hand. I want to hope that they don't draw any more cards, any more discard spells. I'm just gonna pass until end of turn. Yeah, should I do that? Sure. So they've played 2 Gerard's Verdict, so can't imagine they play... Okay, could I play... So I have 6 lands. Okay, so I can actually play War Chief, Ringleader. Alright, because the War Chief makes the Ringleader cheaper, so... And boop! So I only hit 1, but it's a good one. If they put out 3... I'm not going to run my War Chief into a Decree of Justice. Okay, cool. So, the power of War Chief, the power of Ringleader. We were down to basically nothing, and we're still, I think, likely to lose this game. I don't know what I have, what my opponent has. Kanafani. But if they have a bunch of duresses in their hand, that's fine. The Ringleader wasn't ideal, but it did draw me a big duder, so... How many... Okay, that doesn't do anything. So I have 2 Ringleaders and 2 War Chiefs, right? Okay, Eternal Dragon. Okay, so they're tapped out. They might have a Swords of Plowshares. Okay, so I'm going to play this. And it's going to make a bunch of 1/1s. Yep. And let's get in for attacks. So if he doesn't... He will probably have Wrath of God next turn, in which case that's not great. But if he doesn't, then I should be able to kill him next turn. So 7, 8. Yes. Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay, so we're gonna so Siege Game has this ability that I can sacrifice a goblin to do 2. Yes. 2 damage, so that's actually fantastic. Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't actually know if this is true, but okay, he's empty-handed, so we're just gonna float a non-colorless, and then I'm gonna get a Ringleader, and then we'll just swing for the win. Maybe not. Okay, so you see how Ringleader is awesome. So down to 3. But they need like Wrath of God or something. Okay. Okay, cool. So somehow managed to pull out I guess a 2-0 win against Black-White Control, I think, or no, 1-1. I can't remember. So that game showed how powerful Goblin Ringleader is and Goblin Matron. So if a deck like this is interesting, let's go back to the deck list. All right, I apologize. I saw an open game, so let's. This is keepish. Yeah. Let's try one last one, just for funsies. Did I just say an adult man? Just say just for funsies. The purpose of this video is mostly just to show some cool cards and a cool deck. I think Goblins is a pretty cool deck. It's typically these red aggro decks. The red aggro decks come across as quite boring, but this is anything but. The first match ended, my opponent had to leave, and it was just an interesting deck, so I figured I'd leave it. But that is why that it was only one game. Okay, so City of Brass. Ooh, could this be? Oops, I probably should be like playing the game, right? Root Maze. Okay, that's really annoying. I didn't see the... Oh, this is going to be Stasis. Okay, well, we've got a good card for it. There we go. Yep, there it is. I don't think I can beat that. Okay, good game. Okay, so I can't beat this, so I'm going to have to go to the sideboard. So here's going to be an interesting game. I've never played against this, so I actually have no idea how to do it. But we're going to bring in... that. And I think we're going to board out... Ringleaders? Is that all I'm doing? I need more... enchantment hate. So, Stasis. It is a card that makes it so your stuff doesn't untap. Which that kind of stinks, right? Unfortunately, it has an upkeep of paying 1 blue. They have to pay 1 blue or else the Stasis goes away. Well, if they find ways to pay the blue every turn, then you just get locked out of the game. Fantastic. Not fantastic, but okay, they did not have... Okay, so double pile driver is going to do some work. Do I... I have to play into this, right? I have to just hope that he doesn't have stasis. I haven't ever played against this, so this might be a quick 0-2. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So I'm going to leave up one of my lands untapped, and if I can get these double pile drivers going against a mono blue deck, that's going to be pretty solid. And Naturalize will be very good here. Black Vice does not scare me. Does 0 damage? Yeah. Okay, so this means that I can okay, so they're both going to become 3/2s. And a mono blue deck can't deal with them unless they drop a stasis. So I'm not sure how many counterspells stasis plays. I can't imagine. So basically their goal is to, okay, cool. So they're just searching for stuff. So Black Vice deals damage to me when my hand is filled with cards. Stasis wants to make all my stuff tap, and if all my lands are tapped, then I can't play spells, play cards, and so then my hand will get filled with all the cards, and then Black Vice will kill me. So that's how the deck works. Okay, did not see that one coming. That's pretty fantastic. That's interesting. Well, apparently the mono blue deck does have an answer to... Do they follow it up? Okay, I'm going to cycle this guy. And I'm just going to deal damage. Okay. So still going to deal no damage to me. Okay, if they drop a stasis on me now, then I'll just be sad. Okay, must have. Okay, so Lackey. Unfortunately, that's a lot of lands that I would have loved to draw, but let's get in for some damage. So this is an interesting one to include because this is 3 different decks, and each one is very different from the others. Okay, well that stinks. So now I just need to draw another land. And then I will naturalize the bloody stasis. And if not, then I may lose. Just always yield. Yeah, so they can always untap this to pay a blue to keep stasis going for forever. It's a super unique deck. It's okay, so now is where Black Vice can end up being a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to do it at the end of their turn. Okay, so I've yielded to both of them. Yep. Okay, let's kill this thing. Hope they don't have a counterspell. If they do have a counterspell, I think I lose. Yes. Maybe not. No! Okay. Fair enough. Okay. I'm not sure how best to play this. I think so. Yeah, okay. So I'll get them down to 8 with Ringleader. And I'm not going to play the Siege Gang out. I'm going to rely on the Lackey hit. So they're going to play Stasis here. Okay, I suppose. That's fair. Fair enough. Okay, so getting punished there a little bit. Yep. Oh, they cost 2 more. Well, that stinks. So if he has the Stasis in hand, which I think he bounced it, right? I'm not sure where the Exile tab is. Let's get rid of you. Okay, I don't think that's relevant. I mean, it is kind of relevant. This is his sideboard tech. So this is going to cost me 7. So I'm going to put in a Siege Gang. And I'm 1 mana short of. So they have to have Pyroclasm here. Okay, okay, cool. Wow, sweet. That's fantastic. So we're tied 1-1. That's kind of an interesting. Want to try that one? Kind of a cool idea. Sharpshooter doesn't really do much. Incinerator definitely doesn't do much. I don't know why I should be doing that. Okay, yeah, let's try that and see what happens. Overload. Is that worth bringing in? They have a lot of enchantments. Let's just do this. I need to have more enchantment removal in this deck. But I just created Magic Online recently, so okay. This, well, actually, this is a great hand. If I draw anything off the top, it's going to be fantastic. Of course, they're also going to draw things, so... What? You bugger. That was a fantastic start. That's really cool. Yep. Okay, getting that out early Vice out is... Okay, so a question that I have to decide is, do I hold off for killing the Stasis? Probably. is just crunching me. Okay. Counterspell. Can't remember what this does. I get to draw 2 cards. Okay, so this is an interesting card because it makes this Black Vice hurt me more. Yes, of course. Wow. That hurt a lot. So I'm going to try to leave that green untapped. Wow, cool. It's a fantastic card. Okay, I'm just going to keep... Well, that Black Vice might put me to death. Can I resolve a War Chief? I can. I might just have to. Jeez. Okay, nope. I think, wow. They've just had perfect hands. It's fantastic. That turn 1 chill was, gosh. Does he jam the stasis? No. Okay, so I just have to do this. Yep. Gushing. Fair enough, I suppose. And I'll just hope he doesn't have a daze. Okay, no daze. Of course, he might have Pyroclasm. We'll see. That's super annoying. And here it comes. No! Okay. Okay. What? Okay, sorry, it's recording. I'm an idiot. So there's just some games. The last one, I thought I was going to lose. I think my opponent probably just got bored. They probably were going to win that one. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, so this is Goblins. It's pretty straightforward, but a lot of decisions. It's so much fun to go matron into ringleader and just draw a bunch of goblins. Pile drivers obviously actually was really good in the matches that the matches that we showed. I had some other games. I couldn't get games to end in a satisfying way. Either they were just ugly. There was like one where I boarded out all the naturalizes and then they dropped an engineered plague, whatever. So yeah, if you're interested in a tribal deck that does some fun but simple, easy to learn things, Goblins is a good one. And I think they've reprinted. They've reprinted Ringleader, Siege Gang, War Chief, Matron, Incinerator. They've reprinted Fanatic, Prospector. These have all been reprinted into the ground. Pile Driver's probably a $1 card. Lackey's, I think, a $10 card. But, I mean, you could build this, the base, very inexpensively. So, yeah, all right. Hopefully that was fun, interesting. Got to see some awful, awful gameplay.